What if I told you that there's a simple practice that you can start doing today that has the potential of transforming your spiritual growth and your personal development? It's a practice that allows you to tap into the lessons that you learn from your life experiences, the lessons that you learn from living out your life day to day, week after week. And this practice will allow you to get insight and valuable nuggets of truth about you that will help you to keep moving forward and becoming the next best version of yourself and overcoming any obstacles that get in the way. Would you be intrigued? Absolutely, you would be. So, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the power of pausing and reflecting at the end of every month. It is an essential key to success. And we all want to be successful. Let's just make that clear. We want to have success in our relationship with the Most High. We want to have success in our relationship with ourselves and our families. We want success in our health. Who doesn't want to have a healthy body and get rid of any prescribed medications or chronic conditions? We all want to be successful in that way. And let's not forget about making money, right? In our businesses or in our careers or whatever we're doing to earn money, we want that financial freedom. That's a sign of success. So let's be clear. We all want to be successful, but are we willing to do the work to become successful? And that's where pausing and reflecting is critical because we can get caught up in the rat race of life, the whirlwind of our never ending to do list, our unrealistic expectations of what it will take to lose weight, to start a business, to reconcile in a relationship, a whirlwind of obligations and responsibilities. Maybe we're taking care of an elderly parent while we're trying to take care of our family, or maybe we are building our entrepreneur journey while working our full time corporate job, or we have relationships that we need to pour into because maybe someone's been hurt and we're trying to work through that process of forgiveness because it is a process, right? All of these things can overwhelm us. And what we'll find ourselves doing is becoming reactive. We're reacting to life. We're just going along, trying to keep our head above water, and we're reacting instead of being proactive. And if we're not careful, we'll get caught up in this whirlwind. And before we know it, it'll be 6 months later. Or worse yet, it'll be 6 years later. And we're still in the same place, not having moved further or closer to our desired outcomes and making our dreams, whatever that dream may be, a reality. And here's the thing about spiritual growth that I need us to understand it needs to be a priority. Oftentimes it's not, but it must be a priority if we want to have that personal development and that success that we dream about, that we're pursuing, that we're striving for. Because when you put the Father first, everything else falls into place. If you put him on the back burner, you may get some things, but it's not going to be everlasting. And what we want is that everlasting, enduring success. And so we want to put the Father first and then watch everything else fall into place. And so that's just one of my favorite scriptures. Actually, it's Matthew 6:33. Check that out. It's one of my favorites. So let's jump into what is the practice that you can start doing so that you can learn those life lessons and you can set yourself up for success. And this is a practice I do at the end of every month, the pausing and the reflecting. And I want to share with you why it's important. And then I want to share with you how to do it. So why is it important? Because there is so many benefits, and I wrote them down. I wrote them down because I didn't want to forget. Benefit number one of why this is so important to pause and reflect. Had to turn off my watch. Pause and reflect. Number one is to celebrate the wins. Here's the thing. We always look at what didn't work out. We always look at what did not happen. And so when we sit back and reflect over the month, we may say, oh, I didn't get that contract. Oh, I didn't lose the 5 pounds that I was going for. Oh, I didn't spend time with my son or my daughter. Oh, wait, I didn't get that thing that I needed to move the project forward. We always think about what we didn't do, what we didn't get, and what didn't happen. But when we pause and reflect and be very intentional, we can look at the wins, shift our perspective, and celebrate the wins. Instead of looking at what didn't happen, look at what did happen. Look at what you were able to overcome and celebrate that. Look at what you did accomplish on your never ending to do list. And you can check that off. Look at how you did spend time with your family. And maybe you didn't lose the 5 pounds, but maybe you lost 2 pounds. Like, yes, celebrate that. Get into the habit of celebrating the wins. Don't so focus on what didn't happen because there's always going to be a lot of stuff that didn't happen. But if you celebrate on the wins, that energizes you and motivates you to keep moving forward. And so you want to be intentional about pausing and reflecting and celebrating on the wins. Now, what's the second benefit of it? Is learning from the challenges. Here's the thing. We want our challenges to go away. We want just life to be easy. We don't want to have any problems in life. We want everything to work out just the way we want it to go. But that is not reality. And what we have to do is understand that our situations that we are dealing with right now are in our lives for a purpose. They are to teach us, they are to mold us, they're even there to purge some things out of us. But if we resist it, then we won't ever grow. We won't ever change. And then we'll just keep going in this cycle, this vicious cycle that this challenge experiences is trying to break us out of it. So we've got to learn from them. When we reflect, we have to say, okay, what did I learn from the fact that my manuscript got lost? You know the story. My manuscript was deleted by accident, and we are working to recreate it better than ever, I'm sure. But what were the lessons that I learned that through that heartache, through that disappointment when I posted that thing like because I was like, this isn't happening, but it did happen. Did I want it to happen? Heck no. But what did I learn from it? What did I learn about the Father? How he always provides and how he's always there through it and that there's always a solution. What did I learn about myself with resilience and determination and how I deal with disappointment? So if I don't pause and reflect, I'll just remember the pain from that situation. But I got to go back and grab the lessons. And it's the same thing for you. Pause, reflect. What happened this past month? What went well? The ups and downs, and what were you praying about that you got an answer to, or what is it that you're still praying about and you still need an answer? How are you learning and growing through that? Take note because those lessons you want to carry into next month so that you are a better version of yourself and that it is transforming your spiritual growth and your personal development. Okay, what's the third benefit? This is my favorite. You gain clarity and direction. You see, you can't get clear when stuff is all in your head. You got to reflect, get it out of your head, and be able to look back like a bird's eye view versus all the way, close in, right? You want to have that bird's eye view so that you can get clear and you can see, oh, I'm missing this over here. Oh, I keep doing this. What do I need to do differently? And it'll give you that direction on how to take steps to move forward. So when you pause and reflect, you get clear and you get direction and you see how you need to move. And then lastly, you get to apply the lessons learned, right? So when you pause and reflect, you celebrate the wins, you learn from the challenges, you gain clarity and direction, and you learn how to apply what you've experienced because now you've reflected and you can sit back and say, I don't want to keep going through that cycle of disappointment. I don't want to keep responding to that family member the way that I go from 0 to 1,000 because that's not going to help with communication. I don't want to keep eating those potato chips. because it's just going to keep me from from losing the weight that I want to lose, right? So we learn the lessons and then we learn how to apply them. This is so very important to be intentional about your life, to be intentional about the lessons that you've learned and how you need to apply it so you can move forward. So that's the benefit of pausing and reflecting. So how can you pause and reflect? And this is also important because maybe you're not used to this. Maybe you just are reactive and you go through life and you just keeping your head above water and you're checking off your to-do list and you just keep going and you don't stop and pause. That's okay because I'm going to show you, teach you in 4 simple steps how to pause and reflect. Now, I've been doing this for a while, so it's something that's so easy for me to do. In fact, when I don't do it, it's like, wait a minute, I don't know what's going on because it's a ritual that I follow every single month. It's a practice, it's a habit. So I want to share it with you. 4 simple things that you can do. One, find some quiet time. If you can't find it, schedule it, right? Because what we schedule is what we do. Create that time where you can get quiet, get remove all the distractions and get clear and get quiet and get centered on you're going to pause and you're going to reflect over the last 30 days. Now, if you journal, it's really easy because you'll look back over your journal entries and that will give you a lot of insight. And you'll start to circle and underline and highlight things that you've noticed about yourselves and how you feel and how you show up and the things that happen. And you may even notice the patterns and the cycles that continuously go on. Now, if you don't journal, that's okay. Look back through your calendar. What did you do? How did you spend your time? What appointments did you have? Who did you connect with? And then go through your text messages. See, who did you text with over this past month or this past week and see what the conversations were about. And if you don't have, maybe you don't text, I don't know how you don't text, but maybe you don't. Look through your calendar, look through your emails, look through your bank accounts. How did you spend your money? Who did you connect with? And maybe it'll start to trigger some of those feelings that you felt so that you can start to reflect on why did I feel that way? Why did I show up that way? What did I get from connecting with that person? Or what did I get by attending that event or hanging out with my girlfriends or whatever it is that you did, how you spent your time? Pause and reflect on what you got from that experience. And that's how you start to learn the lessons from your life experience. And here's one thing that's I added probably in the last year, but asking myself powerful questions like, what were the highlights of the month? Why was it a highlight? What do you want to repeat and what do you want to stop? And here's one. What were the biggest challenges that you experienced? And what prayers did you pray that weren't answered? How are you dealing with them? Or what about the prayers that you did pray that were answered, right? What did you get from that? And this pause and reflecting is that step of asking those questions pulls even more out of you. And here's the thing that I would really suggest to you is to write the insights down. Write the lessons that you've learned down. That's the part about journaling because you want to then get it out of your head, get it to paper so that you can see it and reflect over it. Because in order to change, in order to grow, you've got to evaluate. And pausing and reflecting is a part of evaluating your walk, evaluating the direction of your life. You cannot be successful without evaluating and reflecting. And this is both for your spiritual growth and your personal development. I am a minister as well as a coach. And what I know is that a lot of us have received information from a spiritual perspective, but a lot of us are still wondering, how do I put this into practice, right? It's good information, but if we don't apply it, then it's just simply good information. We've got to use it if we want to transform our lives. So I just gave you a practice that you can start doing today of pausing and reflecting at the end of the month. Look back over the lessons that you or the life experiences that you've had so you can glean those lessons so that you start the next month with a fresh perspective, new insight, and a greater motivation to be a better version of yourself than you were last month. That is the point that the Most High wants us to do. He gives us the breath of life for us to become better, for us to be better. And if you think that you are the best version of yourself right now, think again, because there's always another level. There's always more for you to learn. There's always more for you to tweak. There's a way of evolving and growing as long as you have breath of life, y'all. You get to do this. So I hope that this was helpful. Put it in the chat, send me an email, DM me. I want to hear from you. Was this helpful? And what do you do? Because maybe this is what I do, and you like, maybe it's too rigid. That's fine. But what do you do to make certain that you pause and reflect and glean those lessons from your life experiences? Would love to hear from you. I pray that you have had a blessed month and that you'll continue being blessed. And I look forward to you and forward to seeing you the next time. Be blessed.